Buckle up, folks! Today we're diving into the world of the most furious drivers on the road. From road rage incidents to high-speed chases, these drivers take things to the extreme. We're talking about the kind of people who would get into a fight with a parking brake if they thought it looked at them funny. Let's be honest, who hasn't felt a little bit of road rage bubbling up inside them at some point? But these folks, they've taken it to a whole new level. So sit back, relax, and try not to get too worked up as we witness the most outrageous displays of automotive anger ever captured on camera. Let's get started. Picture this: a sunny afternoon, traffic moving slower than a snail in molasses, and suddenly, two cars collide in a minor fender bender. Now, any sane person would exchange insurance information and be on their way, right? Not these clowns. Oh no, this is where things get spicy. Our first contender, a man who looks like he hasn't had his morning coffee, leaps out of his car, face redder than a baboon's backside. He's waving his arms like a windmill in a hurricane, screaming obscenities that would make a sailor blush. His opponent, a woman with a face like a bulldog chewing a wasp, isn't backing down either. She's out of her car in a flash, armed with a vocabulary that would make Gordon Ramsay proud. The air crackles with tension as these two titans of temper go head-to-head. It's a verbal slugfest, a symphony of insults and threats. And then just when you think it can't get any more ridiculous, one of them pulls out a weapon. Not a gun, mind you, that would be too sensible. No, this is America, so naturally it's a garden gnome. The high-speed chase. A classic tale of man versus machine versus common sense. Our protagonist in this adrenaline-fueled escapade is a young man who clearly missed the memo that Need for Speed is just a video game, not a life lesson. He's behind the wheel of a rusty Honda Civic, which, let's be honest, is about as intimidating as a hamster on a wheel. But that doesn't stop him from trying to outrun a fleet of police cars with the grace and agility of a drunken rhinoceros. The chase takes us through crowded city streets, winding country roads, and even a farm, where our hero narrowly avoids taking out a flock of sheep. It's a masterclass in terrible driving, a testament to the human capacity for poor decision-making. The police, bless their cotton socks, are doing their best to keep up, but this kid is like a ferret on a sugar rush, darting and weaving through traffic with reckless abandon. Of course, it can't last forever. Eventually our boy's luck runs out and his automotive aspirations come to a screeching halt. He's apprehended by the long arm of the law, leaving behind a trail of bewildered onlookers and a slightly worse-for-wear Honda Civic. There's a special place in automotive hell reserved for people who treat overtaking like a competitive sport. You know the type. They think they're auditioning for the next Fast and Furious film, weaving in and out of traffic like a hyperactive sewing needle. Our star driver in this chapter is a prime example. He's behind the wheel of a BMW, which, in his mind, automatically grants him the right to treat the road like his own personal racetrack. He's darting between lanes with the precision of a caffeinated hummingbird, inches away from other cars, his horn blaring a symphony of impatience. It's enough to make even the most seasoned driver break out in a cold sweat. He zips past cars on the left, then the right, then back to the left again, all while maintaining a running commentary of expletives directed at anyone who dares to occupy the space he wants to occupy. It's a miracle he hasn't caused a multi-car pileup, but that doesn't seem to faze him. He's on a mission, you see. A mission to get to his destination 30 seconds faster, even if it means risking the lives of everyone around him. Let's talk about tailgating, shall we? That delightful driving habit where someone glues themselves to your rear bumper, so close you can practically read their dental records in your rearview mirror. Our tailgating champion in this chapter is a woman who looks like she's perpetually on the verge of a nervous breakdown. She's driving a minivan, which, ironically, is probably large enough to fit her massive sense of entitlement. She's riding the bumper of the car in front of her like it's a carnival ride, her horn blaring a constant serenade of frustration. It's enough to make you want to invest in a rear-mounted flamethrower, just to give her a little nudge. The poor soul in front of her is clearly terrified, but our tailgating queen is unfazed. She continues her aggressive pursuit, her face contorted in a mask of rage, her horn blaring like a foghorn in a dense fog. It's a masterclass in passive-aggressive driving, a testament to the human capacity for pettiness and impatience. And the worst part? She's probably late for a PTA meeting. Lane changing, the bane of every driver's existence. It's a delicate dance, a symphony of turn signals, shoulder checks, and cautious acceleration. Unless, of course, you're the star of this chapter. This fellow, driving a pickup truck that could tow a small planet, seems to have missed the memo on how to change lanes safely. He's darting between lanes like a fly in a bottle, his turn signal a distant afterthought. He cuts off cars left and right, leaving a trail of angry honks and bewildered drivers in his wake. It's a miracle he hasn't caused a pileup the size of Mount Everest. He treats the road like his own personal obstacle course, weaving in and out of traffic with reckless abandon. It's enough to make you want to invest in a bumper car, just to be prepared. Some people, it seems, are allergic to empty roads. They see a traffic jam and their right foot develops a mind of its own, slamming down on the accelerator like it's trying to squash a particularly stubborn spider. Our speed demon in this chapter is a prime example. He's behind the wheel of a sports car that looks like it was designed by someone who's never actually seen a road before, let alone driven on one. He's weaving through traffic like a caffeinated cheetah, his engine roaring like a wounded lion. He's overtaking on the left, undertaking on the right, even using the emergency lane as his own personal speedway. It's a masterclass in reckless driving, a symphony of near misses and heart-stopping maneuvers. He's treating the road like his own personal Grand Prix, and the rest of us are just obstacles in his path. Remember those two from the first chapter? The ones with the gnome and the vocabulary of a sailor on shore leave? Well, they're back, and this time things are about to get even uglier. They've pulled over to the side of the road, their cars parked haphazardly, blocking traffic. They're standing toe-to-toe, their faces contorted in masks of rage, their voices echoing through the air. It's a verbal sparring match, a symphony of insults and threats. They're hurling obscenities at each other like they're going out of style, their words dripping with venom. The air crackles with tension, you could cut it with a knife. It's only a matter of time before things escalate, before words turn into actions. Now I'm all for a bit of spirited driving, but there's a time and a place for everything. And that place is definitely not a crowded public road. Our drifting enthusiast in this chapter, however, seems to have missed that memo. He's behind the wheel of a souped-up car that looks like it was designed by a committee of teenagers high on sugar and energy drinks. He's throwing his car around like a rag doll, tires screaming, smoke billowing from the wheel arches. He's drifting around corners, roundabouts, even traffic islands, his car sliding this way and that, a symphony of controlled chaos. It's impressive in a way, but also incredibly reckless. He's inches away from other cars, pedestrians, even a hot dog stand. It's only a matter of time before he loses control and causes a major accident. Traffic signals, those colorful lights that tell us when to stop and when to go, are essential for maintaining order on the roads. Unless, of course, you're the kind of person who considers them mere suggestions, not rules. Our traffic light enthusiast in this chapter is a prime example. He's behind the wheel of a beat-up sedan that looks like it's been through the ringer a few times, and he's treating every red light like a personal affront. He's running red lights left and right, narrowly avoiding collisions with other cars, pedestrians, even a stray dog. It's a miracle he hasn't caused a major accident. He's weaving through traffic, ignoring the honking horns and angry shouts of other drivers. He's a one-man traffic jam, a symphony of chaos and disregard for the rules of the road. And now, we come to the lowest of the low, the most cowardly act a driver can commit, the hit and run. Our perpetrator in this chapter is a shadowy figure behind the wheel of a nondescript car. He's speeding down a residential street, not paying attention, when he collides with a cyclist. The cyclist is thrown from his bike, landing on the pavement with a sickening thud. He's injured, possibly seriously, but our driver doesn't stop. He doesn't even slow down. He speeds away from the scene, leaving the cyclist lying helpless on the road. It's a despicable act, a testament to the depths of human selfishness and cowardice. So there you have it, folks, a glimpse into the wild world of road rage and reckless driving. We've seen it all, the anger, the frustration, the sheer stupidity. It's enough to make you want to sell your car and take up knitting. But remember, folks, driving is a responsibility. Stay calm, stay safe, and always respect the rules of the road. Don't be like these clowns. You're better than that. Thanks for watching, and don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe for more thrilling content.